There are way more blacks now around here than there were 6 years ago when I first started coming to these parts. Back then, I would get looks. Now, I don't get those looks because there are other people who look like me. I know, we're in California. And you think, oh, but it's a melting pot. No, it's not this part of California. All right, everybody, it's your girl, Babala Brooke. Today is Tuesday, March the 29th. Oh, it's somebody's birthday. The time is 11:18 in the morning. What time is it in South Africa then? 9, so it's 9 p.m. Maybe I'll send her a message. There's a person that I knew a lifetime ago, and it's her birthday today. We were very close once. Well, that just took me. I wasn't ready for this until I looked at the time and the date on the cell phone. All right, so I just wanted to do a quick update. I don't know if it's going to be quick, but what I really wanted to do was to feel like I'm being productive because I'm really tired and I'd much rather be sleeping. However, as my sister just asked me, why don't you just go back to sleep? And I said, #slave mentality. Yeah, so slave mentality is on my butt. And therefore, I guess I don't want to let myself go to sleep on a Tuesday morning at 11:18. And therefore, I was like, oh, let's do a podcast episode recording. And thus will feel like we're working. Now, just being a bit distracted because of remembering this person. We're very close. She wasn't my therapist. I went in for an HIV test because being South African, definitely at the time that I was doing this test, this was probably, please don't tell me it was 20 years ago because that'll be so crazy. Let me see. Oh my gosh, it was like 18 years ago. Whoa, this is crazy. What? Was it really? Yeah, it was like, oh my God, it was like 18, 19 years ago. I can't even freaking believe it. Oh my God, I'm so old. And at the time, we used to have, it was recommended that every year or at least every so often, you go for an HIV test. Because of how prevalent HIV is in South Africa. So I just was so scared of getting it that I would use condoms. But some guys wouldn't want to use condoms. And they would just say, like, if you're on contraceptives, then we're fine. So I would tell them I'm not. I would go to the clinic and I'll get the injection. What is it called? Family planning injection. I can't even think. But I would do that. And then I wouldn't tell them. And then I would use condoms. Don't worry. It wasn't even that much. I wasn't in relationships a lot of the time because just it's a whole nother. I won't even half jokingly say what I was thinking of saying because that'll be a whole nother tangent. We're already on a tangent right now. We started this whole thing on a tangent. So I had headaches and I was suffering from all kinds of things. So I went and had a bunch of tests done at the doctor's. I didn't know what I was doing, so I was thinking of these tests myself at the time instead of, a doctor telling me, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? I mean, they did the best they could too, whatever. I'm not going on that tangent too. So at some point, I went to I was referred to the hospital. And I was like, okay, well, I'm there. Let me go and do an HIV test. And then I met this lady. We clicked right away. She was very young. And she was such a beautiful soul inside and out. And we ended up being best friends. We pretty much were like family. I spent half my time at her home. She spent half her time at my place. And it was great. If I do end up writing a book, I will include that story there. But then again, maybe that will be the story that will make me not want to write a book. But, sorry, to just tease a story and not even get into it really. But it's her birthday today. So the other day I was thinking, speaking of birthdays, I was like, oh my gosh, I am in my 40s and my youngest brother, there's just one other behind me, my youngest brother, who has been gone since 2005, so 17 years. That's another crazy thing. Pardon me. That's another crazy thing to think that it's been that long that he's no longer been with us. Because lately I've been thinking about him and be like, getting a little bit excited. Oh my God, what's the time in South Africa now? I should call him. Yeah, I'll call him when I wake up tomorrow. Why has it been so long since I've talked to him? I miss him. Oh, tomorrow is going to be great. I want to go. Wah, wah. No, you cannot call him tomorrow because he's dead, okay? He's not here. He has not been, or you have not been able to call him for apparently 17 years now. So that was another random story for you. Rest in peace. Pardon me, I don't know what these weird sounds my body is making. But rest in peace. We used to call him Big John, based off of, he used to, as a young boy, he used to like box, like boxing, and just like punch people. It was like tough and cute and little. I don't know this from memory. I don't think that I would know this from memory. He was only 2 years younger than me. But they named him Big John based off of Big John Tate, the boxer. We didn't say Tate, that was Big John Tate. We say Tate like Afrikaans type of accent Tate. But I only found out when probably more than 10 years ago that Big John Tate was not even a South African boxer. And I was like, wow. And I started reading up on Big John Tate. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the guy that my brother was named after. My brain goes to these places and I get like really curious about things that are super random. And I just like rabbit hole my way into them. I'm sitting in front of a heater right now, in case you're wondering. I am in my robe. When I woke up, I didn't really want to, but when I did wake up about 5 hours ago, maybe 4 hours ago, I was just like, oh, should I cut my hair today? I just felt like cutting my hair today. And it's funny, I'm thinking now about the connection. I wanted to cut my hair because, I've got these issues with my hair. And it's so funny because not long after that, I listened to a podcast and they covered the Oscars 2022. So whenever I'm going to end up posting this podcast episode, it's going to be late because the Oscars have already happened. And I'm only recording the thing now. I know I'm not going to post it anytime soon. And the Oscars that I'm referring to are the ones where Chris Rock made a joke. G.I. Jane, referring to Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, as G.I. Jane. Maybe she's going to be in G.I. Jane too. And Jada Pinkett rolled her eyes. She didn't think it was funny. At the same time that she did, Will Smith laughed at the top of his voice, of his lungs. We could even see his uvula. And then seconds later, Will Smith gets up and goes and punches or slaps Chris Rock in the face. So that was awkward. Nobody knew what was going on, except probably for Will. But then I'm wondering if even he knew what was going on. I'm not here to talk about that kind of stuff because I know nothing about nothing. But that happened, and then it's like coming out that, oh yeah, the joke wasn't funny because it's referencing Jada Pinkett Smith's hair or baldness, and she has alopecia. I'm thinking that's a connection because when I woke up, I hadn't seen that story yet, and I thought of cutting my hair, probably for medical reasons, too, and then boom, within an hour or two of waking up, that happened. Another thing that I did upon waking up, for as long as we're rambling, I watched this new show, Kandi and the Gang, or something to that effect. Kandi Burrus. What's Todd's last name? Todd Burrus. I feel like his last name is similar to that too. But anyway, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kandi and Todd, her husband, have a restaurant called Old Lady Gang. Wow, it's been 10 minutes. I've been talking already. I need to slow it down. I need to wrap it up. Pardon me. So they have this restaurant, Old Lady Gang, OLG, and the Old Lady Gang being Kandi's mom, Mama Joyce, who inadvertently or advertently, I don't know if there is an opposite to the word inadvertently, she traumatized me, really, when in one of the episodes, I think it was episode 3, because so far they're up to episode 4, Mama Joyce was in a spa getting some kind of a treatment, and I guess she didn't have her clothes on, and her butt was exposed. I'm talking about, I'm not an ageist or ageism or whatever all these new isms are, where you just put ism at the end of a word. Babalwa-ism, Brookism. Just everything is an ism now. If you want it to be offensive, you put phobic at the end of it, or ism. So that's another tangent. We will not go there. So this mama is 72 years old. My mom's 75 years old. My mom will be 75 years old on the 7th of April, which is right around the corner. Happy birthday, Mom. Hopefully you will pick up the phone when I call you on your birthday. So, yeah, I was like, wow, this lady is like looking at my mom. That's the part that traumatized me. That's all. Don't cancel me. I've already been canceled. Just kidding. So, yeah, I watched that show. I've been like dreading it, but I'm not going to lie, I succumbed because sometimes before I watch a show, if it's new and I'm neither interested nor not interested in someone, like indifferent, like I am. I like Housewives casts on the show. Because it's an ensemble show and it's supposed to work based off of the characters that they've cast together. I'm not trying to watch, even no matter how much I like a person, I'm not really trying to watch that person in their regular life by themselves, just being themselves or whatever. Usually I'm not interested in that. I did make an exception with Bethany Frankel because I just enjoyed her so much. I did watch her spin-off, Bethany Getting Married, or whatever. I think I had a question mark in the end. And I liked the show, the spin-off, but, here we are. They ended up being, I guess, a shit show in arrears because it's like she was so in love and, oh, my gosh, and then now you want to do a tour afterwards talking about, oh, my God, when they do a reality show and everybody buys it and you think everyone's cute, oh my God, I don't really get it, but I guess you guys are in love and whatever. And then they come out afterwards, now that they've had you watch the show, they've sucked you in, you're now rooting for them, even if you really were like, I'm cringing about this guy. Now they have you rooting for them and whatnot, and now they want to do a tour, undoing all of that, talking about, oh my God, I had butterflies in my stomach, but like opposite of butterflies, because I didn't think it was a good idea. I was like, oh my God, I'm already regretting this. Should I be doing it? Blah, 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 blah. And you're like, are you kidding me? You did a whole show based on this, and now you want to tell me it was just kidding. Okay. But I do once in a while check out like her social media, Bethany. Have like my views on some of the stuff that she's been up to since. And she has had another show that I've watched, not the real estate show with the guy from $1 Million Listing, because I couldn't get into that one. It was just weird for me. It was just like not watchable. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I felt like it should have been like a 10-second Snapchat clip, in my humble opinion. But when she had the show with Showtime, which was kind of like Apprentice, I watched that show. Probably could have been better, but it wasn't the worst thing I've watched. So I invested my time in it and I watched the whole thing. How did we end up talking about Bethany? So I watched Kandi Burroughs' wedding. I've watched all their wedding specials. Wait a minute. Did Luann have a wedding special on some channel? I guess that's the special I didn't watch because it wasn't on Bravo. Not that I watch any of this shit on Bravo. I have my own. Like, I know a guy. So I watched Kandi's, and apparently her wedding special was the highest rated of all the spin-offs. So I guess because of that, it was also one of the first ones. I guess because of that, Bravo is just like keeps on giving her these spin-offs. It's like the boy who cried wolves. What is it? The Boy Who Cried Wolf. It's like that, but like opposite of that. Because it worked so good the first time. They keep going back, and her spin-offs keep on not going well. But they keep on giving them to her. I feel like this could be it, this one, because they're pretty much using the same formula that has worked with Lisa Vanderpump's spin-off, which was Vanderpump Rules. I don't know why I'm saying was. Has that show been cancelled? It's as good as, had been cancelled. Oh my God, was the show cancelled? No, not officially, but it's that bad because I watched the most recent season because they're like mostly the original guys. The season before they had 50%. They had like apparently 19 cast members. Are you kidding me? Like, who's gonna follow all these people and know all these names? And then they're gonna have friends too. Now it's like friend of the show. Like, what am I trying to do? I'm not remembering all these people. I struggle with shows that have like couples that are like 5 couples, therefore 10 people. I'm just like, whoa, who are these names? I'm watching Ready to Love. I still don't know who the heck those people are, and I think that we're on episode 6 now. Back to Vanderpump Rules. They last season had two it's like two halves of one half was the new cast and another half was the old cast. I try to fast forward through the new cast until they speaking of the Jaden Pinkett Smith or whatever, what is it called? Entanglement. They entangled everybody, and I was just like, no. So I just didn't watch that season. And apparently it did so poorly, people couldn't get themselves to watch it because you're giving me a brand new cast. Just change the name of the show. It's a new show that I'm not going to watch. Or like, I'm not trying to watch this show just because it's disguised as a different show. Basically just like that. I haven't watched it, but some people are like, it's not even the same show. Another tangent. So the formula that made Vanderpump Rules work for, was it about 10 years or whatever? or 9 or 8 is the same basically that they're using now for Kandi Burris's restaurant, because she and her husband did open up the restaurant, like I said. Apparently they have another one that they mentioned slightly in passing called Blaze. It's called Blazes. Apparently it's the fancy version, pretty much the same thing that Lisa Vanderpump is doing. I'm not saying that Kandi is copying Lisa Vanderpump. Lisa Vanderpump is from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and Kandi Burruss is from Real Housewives of Atlanta, like I said. So it's East Coast, West Coast. And I mean, it's a restaurant. Anybody can own a restaurant. You know, it's like, you know what I mean? Whatever. But Lisa had her restaurants like West Hollywood gay type deal. She's into the whole gay situation. Just like, oh my God, you know, rainbows and whatnot. She's a big supporter of LGBTQIA. Not to say Kandi isn't. So one of her restaurants, Lisa, was in Beverly Hills. It's since been closed. And it was, what is it called? Because one is named Pump, basically Vanderpump, so Pump. And the other one was Sir, which is sexy, unique restaurant. Okay, that's a sexy, unique name, I guess. And then the other one was Villa Blanca, which I like that name. That one was, I never been inside any of them, but I've seen them in person because they're here in LA. Like, it's just a building, sure. So apparently Kandi has a fancy restaurant, just like Lisa did in Villa Blanca. Kandi is called Blaze. Blaze is the name of her youngest child, Kandi. That's not where that's not where the show's based. The show's based on OLG, which is kind of like the same thing with Lisa Vanderpump. Her show was not based on the fancy restaurant. It was based on the other one, the sexy, unique one, etc., etc., etc. So I was like, oh, let me go on Twitter and see what everyone thinks. And I did, and I saw that people are liking this. There's a lot of tweets about it. I was like, oh, man, okay, let's bite the bullet. So last night, after spending the entire afternoon uninstalling and installing a ceiling fan, successfully, might I add, as I'm looking at it right now as I'm talking, I still can't believe that I am the one who is the reason behind this being here above my bed. And I washed it, and it looks so good. It's on my Instagram at Baba Laprok. So, yeah. After that, I was like, I need to, just veg out. And there were no new episodes of any of the shows that I like. So I went on there and I watched that. I watched, an episode and a half. Then I passed all the way out. Then I woke up around 4, maybe 5. And I watched the rest of the episodes. I enjoyed it. As far as trash TV is concerned, they have really good looking, great shape, nice dressing, young go-getters from Atlanta. Everyone has they call them side gigs, but I feel like the restaurant job is their side gig while they have their own main businesses. It's quite impressive. And I like that they're very generous with their airtime and they're letting the cast show off their businesses. I think that's a nice twist. If more and more people, can put the cast names, at names so that we don't have to Google them, you just add them and you find them. Just let them promote them right away. That would be nice, I think. So I ended up being in bed now, and I'm going to get off of this. But that's what I've been doing in the last 24 hours, and I'm tired. I should update my shopping list. I do a to-do list in the morning for the day ahead, and one of the things that I keep on not getting around to is updating my shopping list, because whenever I'm still doing improvements in the houses that I bought, and I add onto my shopping list. So I need to narrow it down so that I can make a trip to the shops. It's like a 30-minute drive, and we all know gas prices are crazy. I mean, I'm saying this because I hear they are, but I don't think that. I mean, I don't know this. I know that the prices have gone up, and I believe that gas prices have gone up too. But I haven't, bought fuel in like a month. So thank God for that. But I know that my fuel light is lit. So I need to get fuel, and I need to drive 30 minutes one way, 30 minutes back to go to Home Depot, Walmart, and whatever, and buy a bunch of things. Usually when I go shopping, I end up, because since I've moved here in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing much going on here. There's like nobody living in this town. Literally, it's off the grid. Like off of Broadway. It's like off the grid, but like off the grid is where I live. So I go to this town that's off the grid, from off, and it feels like I'm downtown LA. There's so many people, so many cars. We don't even have one street light here in this town. So I go there, and they have like several street lights. I'm like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. And of course, I usually end up going on Friday. I don't know why that's like, I'm a smart enough girl, but I end up going on Fridays. And I found out recently from my neighbor, I know I said there's nobody else living here. I found out from my neighbor recently that the Fridays that she's been seeing me disappeared on are the worst Fridays to go. I tell her, actually, I've been going every other Friday. She said, yeah, you're going every other Friday. It's every other Friday that you shouldn't be going there. You should go on the ones that you're not going on. I was like, okay, great. So that would have been last Friday, but it had already been the Friday before. So I told myself, okay, I'll go anyway. And then I thought, no, for what? And I still have to sit down and narrow down this list. It's not just a grocery list where you know what you eat on a weekly basis, so you're just going to shop for 2 weeks. No, that's not what we're doing. It's, you got to write down air conditioner filter, like random shit that I've never in my entire life bought. 29 inches by 21 and a half. You know what I mean? That's the kind of list. And then you go over the list and you see, okay, I already wrote 2 different brands of this. Now I gotta go on Google and see, is this the one? No, now I gotta go to Reddit. It's just like, that's the kind of list. So that's why it keeps on being postponed. Maybe if I did like a few things on there per day, it would have been good by now. And I don't want to go to Home Depot 30 minutes away and buy 1 or 2 things that I need and then be like, I should have bought this as well. No, I'd rather have like a decent list. And if I end up not buying something, it's because I changed my mind while I'm there, but it's not because I forgot or because I didn't go over my list beforehand. I like to be prepared. So that's one of the things that I wanted to get around to. It's Tuesday today, and time flies, whether you're having fun or not. Don't let them fool you. And of course, it's like, it looks like I'm going to end up going on Friday again. For me, it's whatever. If I want to buy like fried chicken from Walmart, I go to Walmart. The first stop is the deli department to see if they have fried chicken. Because if they have the last one, somebody grabs in front of you, that sucks. So I grab it. Usually every time I've been there, which has only been twice, they've had 1 or 2, and I've grabbed the last one. So I've been lucky so far. There's not a lot of black people in these parts, so maybe that also works to my advantage that I'm one of the few. But there are way more blacks now around here than there were 6 years ago when I first started coming to these parts. Back then, I would get looks. Now, I don't get those looks because there are other people who look like me. I know, we're in California. And you think, but it's a melting pot. No, it's not this part of California. There's nothing. Maybe we won't go there. That's it. I'm still working on both houses. I have been living in this one for a month now, very at home. I even, as you know, had time to put in an AC. What is it called? Yeah, I do have AC that I've installed in the window, and a cooler that I'm going to buy the filters too. But I've put in a fan in the meantime. It's in the California desert, so it gets very hot. It's already been 93, 95. So that really made my head spin. And I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That's why I have so many like cooling agents going on now. Right now, I'm in bed under the blankets with a heater on. So I know. That's pretty much it. I don't have like, the next door is the side that needed attention the most. I still got to do several things. I have done update videos on my YouTube, so you can check both sides on there and tell me what you think. Give me some advice, whether I want to take it or not, or don't give me advice. Tell me whatever you want to tell me. Ask me questions. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you next time. 30 minutes on the dot. Find me on all social media at babalwabrook. That's BABALWA. I have a blog, babalwabrook.com, and I have a YouTube channel. Like I said, it's youtube.com/babalwabrook. Love you, mean it.